The Aral Sea, once a thriving body of water spanning Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, witnessed an alarming decline. Over 90% of its water vanished in just 50 years due to Soviet irrigation projects initiated in the 1960s. This natural catastrophe triggered a domino effect, causing the loss of biodiversity, desertification, and the emergence of dust storms from the exposed seabed. The ripple effect extended beyond the environment, affecting the lives and livelihoods of local communities dependent on the sea for their sustenance. My colleague Balzhan Samigulina discovered an issue of Aral Tragedy. All the details are in New Times Explainer section.
The Aral Sea today is only 9% of its historical size, and its waters have decreased by 24% compared to 1965. Until recently, it used to be the fourth largest lake in the world with 68,000 square kilometers. Its drastic reduction is labeled as one of the planet's most severe environmental disasters. Once boasting a thriving fishing industry, the Aral Sea's decline led to widespread unemployment and economic adversity in the region. Moreover, heavy pollution in the area gave rise to public health issues. The sea's retreat didn't just alter the landscape, it triggered global climate shifts, intensifying summer's heat, prolonging winters, and reshaping the environment in ways unimaginable a few decades ago.
It is known that the dynamics of the Aral Sea is cyclical. It has risen and decreased several times in its history. Over the past 10 years, both climate and anthropogenic pressures have had a negative impact. As a result, in 1993, a World Bank mission arrived in the region, which concluded that in the near future it would be difficult to restore the former size of the Aral Sea. It is more realistic to work on improving the delta parts of two large rivers and creating favorable hydrological conditions for the remaining reservoirs in the Aral Sea. These are the northern and western Aral Seas.
Back in 1993, the leaders of 5 Central Asian states united to establish the International Fund for Saving the Aral Sea. Their collective commitment aimed to restore the environment and jumpstart social economic development in the Aral Sea area. This fund not just elevated the Aral Sea's district onto the global platform, but also served as a linchpin in coordinating efforts to tackle the crisis. Collaborating with key international organizations, the fund actively addressed the global implications of the Aral Sea issue. Jambulat Nadyrov, founder of the fund, underscores the belief that the solution lies in a collaborative effort from the international community.
We will hold negotiations jointly with the Ministry of Water Resources and with the authorities of the Russian Federation. We will be based on legislative acts that we have signed with Russia and on legislative acts of an international nature.
Notably, Kazakhstan's difficult fight for at least the partial restoration of the biodiversity of the Aral Sea started immediately after the country gained its independence. In a lot of ways, the Aral Sea was a Eurasian analog of the Lake Victoria, especially when taking into account its biodiversity. Even now, a part of the Aral Sea is inhabited by flamingos. Until recently, the sea had one of the world's most diverse set of fish species, with sturgeons, pikes, and trouts providing tons of seafood daily. Despite a near-death experience lasting about a dozen years, the Aral Sea is making a modest comeback, now yielding 400 tons of fish annually, an achievement for Kazakhstan. In the past 2 decades, the country has prioritized Aral Sea crisis, with President Tokayev emphasizing the need for increased global funding and collaboration across different international platforms. Balzhan Samigulina, New Time.